Preps. We're live.
All right, we're live. Never mind.
Hello. It is Tuesday night, so you're here with Couch Conversations with the People's Pride Project. Woo woo. This week, my guest is Dominique Alexandria of Caribago Designs. Now, y'all know I like to. These are my friends. We bring my friends to the table, and we get to talk about how wonderful they are, but also how their expertise is growing and flourishing and helping build this community that we're looking to create, right? So, my friend, first of all, how are you? Start with the pleasantries.
I'm good. I made it. I'm on time. I'm present.
Exactly, right? That's
Yes. Thank you for
that's
having me.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Um, the thing that I like, well, one of the many things that I like in your multifaceted, life situation, because we all have them right now. Like right now, this is the thing that we're supposed to be. We're hats for everything.
Yes.
So I like that you consider yourself a creative clarity consultant.
Okay.
That's what you said. That's what I told
Yes,
you.
it's a fact. I appreciate you liking it. A lot
I
of
mean,
people don't know what it is, so like kudos.
well, I feel like it speaks to exactly what it is. I'm here to help you figure out creatively or figure out your creativity and how we
Mhm.
can make this work. To me, it seems very straightforward, but I'm a little, so
Listen, you with the universe, you get this. And no
hey,
offense to those who don't. But yes, I've had mixed messages, but I agree. I think it's pretty to the point. Usually I used to go by creative director because that's what I do with small businesses, with projects and things like that. But if you're thinking on an agency level, it's not always the case, depending on the level of creativity they need for
right.
my services and what they need utilized. So I decided to go and coin the term creative clarity consultant because it's not just photography, it's not just design, it's not just branding, and it's really very custom case by case situations. When I say custom, and this is probably typical besides fine art and commission work, when you use the word custom, there can be confusion. So I decided to try this out and hopefully it works.
It's been working for you so far, so we don't hope, we acknowledge what is.
Yes,
So
yes, 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 yes.
so how did we get to this point? I know about, the photography. Hello, my friend is featured. Tell them where you're featured, friend. She has artwork hanging in galleries, people.
Oh, oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, yes. Big up L'Espace de Rev is in Harlem, New York. 246 Malcolm X Boulevard, right there, right at the cusp of Lenox, or 246 Avenue, whichever way you want to call it. But it's right in the heart, right next to Whole Foods, and get off the 2 or the 3, and you're a block away, and it's completely melanin.
Mm,
Okay, history, living through history. It's
yes.
it's amazing, and I'm so blessed and grateful for the opportunity of being featured there and having a residency with my art.
It's a beautiful space. It
And I'm
has
so
a
glad you get to come. Like,
course.
yeah, just experience it. Don't take my word for it, people. Definitely come and check it out. The last opening was just this past Saturday. They bring new artists in every month, and then there's a few of us that are in residency as well who get to bring in new work every month or every couple of months and sell some stuff. Like, this is our bread and butter. Uh, Beautify your walls, beautify your inners, bringing that good vibrations to you and leave you more intrigued, more learned through the visual experience of our melanated folks.
That's a beautiful way to put that. And that's a
Mhm.
building, when you walk in, you feel it. Even if you didn't see the art yet, There's a feeling that just
Mhm.
kind of encapsulates the moment you go through the door. So if you
It's
have the opportunity, go. That's all I say. Go.
definitely, definitely. Yeah. Yes. So back to the original question. I think there was a question there.
It might have been, might not have been. You know me.
Okay.
Just roll with it.
We go with the flow. We go with the flow.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
That's what happens. Authenticity. We make it work.
But
Um, so speaking of you being in residency in a gallery space, which is obviously a present moment, and a lot of your artwork focuses on these minute moments, right? They're like little snippets of things. Like if you blink, you'll catch it, but somehow you manage to catch it.
hmm
How did that become so important for you, or how did you gain that intuition or that intuitive sense to be able to catch what's happening?
gotta be it's gotta be the universe or something bringing it to me because it's been something that has resonated with me since I was a kid. I know when I was younger, I've always been something about the sun for me has like I used to draw it on crayons, I mean draw it with crayons, sun with sunglasses, palm tree and water. Like that was the thing. Like the islands are calling me, the my ancestors are calling me, I don't know. But capturing footage visually, it's like I look and I just see these snapshots, these compositions. And so once I got to hold a camera and actually become an apprentice and learn to use your focal points, capture the, like I said, the composition. I used to get in trouble because I would crop inward too much. So the point that there's no leeway as far as if you need to Photoshop, edit, print worthy, if it needs to be changed from a 5x7. I know I'm getting a little nerdy here, but if you're going from a 5x7 to an 8x10, or you want to go slim, there was no room for that space for cropping because my eye just captured that shot the way it needed to be. Um, so, over time, I have learned to, of course, give it more space so I can go ahead and crop afterwards. Um, but that's been a compliment to me since I was younger, and then as I got into the professional side of things, capturing footage and creating different design uh, movements and pieces, they always just have this flow to them. So the other part of it that I think has increased my skill set is a lot of the time this footage I capture in the moment literally is in that moment, and there's not a lot of time to do so. Whether, like these pictures behind me, they bring this wonderful emotion of hopefully happiness, warmth, nostalgia for people, and definitely for myself. But when I captured it, it was actually during my my grandfather's funeral in Jamaica, and I wasn't out there to be a tourist. Like, I captured footage of our family members and, the memory of the burials and things like that. And these couple of pieces were only during a quick time. It wasn't planned. I saw them and it reminded me of my grandfather to bring me joy. Do you want to say hi? Okay. You clearly want to say hi. He's like, listen, his hair got done today. He's looking like $1,000,000. No. So there you have it, live and direct.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what?
But you do look like $1,000,000. Listen, that hair is laid. It is.
So
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. But, just capturing those footage, for the moment during a sorrowful time. My grandfather brought a lot of joy into our family just for his spirit and the livelihood that he had. Everyone around the neighborhood knew who he was back home in Jamaica, and like those joyful pieces of nature and how he was with the land, tilling the land and the things he used to do as a farmer. I captured some of those shots during that time. in the dead of January. So yeah.
But even that, you could see how that generational connection plays
Mm-hmm.
itself out in your art. Because a lot of what you do photograph is of, nature and, landscapes and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see how that is a connection that you have, you know?
Yeah.
So, how does one, as a person that wears many hats, how do you find ways to juggle it? How do you carry it all? I know. I knew before I got it out. I know. But for the sake of the folks, let's discuss what it really is to try to maintain that I don't want to call it optimism, but that ability to sit in the moment
Mm-hmm.
whilst tornadoes happening. Because you do it really well. Like I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of times I'm talking to you, I'm like, I don't know shit that's going on right now. But somehow, okay, we're hashing it out. So how
Yes.
does that work for you?
You know, there are down times and there are good times. I used to be a very optimistic person as a child, and I would say during my collegiate years, somehow that just between high school and college, it got sucked out of me.
Oh,
And it was a lot of times people were saying like, "Oh, stop thinking, stop being so negative." And I'm thinking to myself, "How am I being negative?" I'm just thinking about the other what's the word? The other answers, the other possibilities. What if
mhm.
this happens? What if that happens? Let's avoid this.
Right.
Let's avoid this negative thing by coming up with a solution. Like that's how my overthink goes. But recent things with all of um, the pandemic, losing job, this, that, and a whole bunch of things. I was just grateful that our health was good. Like I had that come to Jesus meeting with myself before the pandemic was even announced last year, probably around, it was between January and March, or excuse me, January and February,
Mhm.
when they were just starting talking about like, China, this and that. And we're just here still lollygagging, doing our thing. Please stop. Please. Xavier, if you make anything fall, I'm gonna be really not so happy. You being a troll right now. Um. So yeah, what am I trying to say?
You were
February.
talking about
Yeah,
China.
between January and February, and going down the rabbit hole of different things that conspiracists or the truth seekers were coming out with saying, but you're only seeing it through social media or, like I said, in the comments, one post, one link here and there. And I think it was, probably one night, like 4 in the morning between January and February, and my son is knocked out. And I'm just like, you know what? If this is what we about to deal with, and listen, my mind went all the way there. Like, if they start coming knocking on doors and just start giving us medicine or forcing things, I can't control that. Like, clearly, I can't control that. But if I have to go underground somehow, what can I do? Like, how can I keep myself afloat and be okay health wise? Or, like, what can I sustain here? What can I keep health wise with the little bit of money that we do have until this too shall pass?
Mhm.
Start changing my eating habits, eating cleaner, eating, yeah, eating cleaner, stocking food, but not, just what we can. And just also getting into the mentality of being able to handle maybe one meal a day, fasting, trying these different things out. So smoothies and, just again, and moving my body with my son and connecting with each other. We had a lot of downtime together to really bond on that level, to know what his sleeping schedule is and have happy moments just by dancing, playing the music we like, or that I like, and then let him get a piece of the culture. And of course, staying in contact with my loved one, as we needed, whether those are friends or family. So communication is definitely has been a key thing. It always has been. It's very rare that um, I lose touch with people on purpose, or um, there's always a form of follow up. If we haven't heard from each other in 5 or 10 years, and then boom, there's a text, we going right back to where we started. Or you need me to do this? Okay, cool. Like typically that's the case, unless something's going on, something wrong, something's actually wrong on either of our sides. So in a nutshell, it's like keeping my mental, focused, and don't in living each day. Like when pandemic hit, we were still going out for walks every day for 2 hours, getting our fresh air. Like I said, eating clean, and not really being around too many people, just living each day, and not letting things stress. There's something about it that just feels spiritual. Like if there's a spiritual warfare going on, that you know you keep your heart clean, you're gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know that might sound like super fluffy, but that there's something in my heart, or something in my soul, that feels like that's the case. Like if you are coming to the table, or coming meaning well, you're gonna be just fine. And of course, eat do well, eat clean, do good, and mean what you're doing. Like, don't come with this negative BS and judgmental or whatever. Like nobody got time for that. The world is everything is life is too short.
Mm.
Point blank. Life is too short. And I've found myself to be the glue in situations where if I reach out or put that olive branch out, we're cool again, or we can mesh with other things. But I'm taking my grace and space, like, handling what I can. And I've always been very focused with my creativity and my work, and finding ways to keep that bringing joy for me as well. Like the form of self-care, I didn't really know what self-care meant
Mm-hmm.
till last year. Yeah. And it brings a whole nother meaning to me, on how I handle my day-to-days. We are superhuman, but we can't do everything.
Very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
One thing that comes to me when it talks about self care, there was actually a couple points that you brought up, but we'll get back to those. Um, this idea that self care and community care are mutually exclusive. Like, we don't allow ourselves to recognize the necessity for community as a way to help elevate the individual. And I find that you're really good at making connections
Hmm.
with other people. And so, do you consider that the way you network and move through these different spaces as kind of part of your self care? Or do you
Yes.
think, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Like super, super definitely. Before the pandemic happened, I remember having a sit down. It was like in 2019 with a fellow young lady. I think we went to high school together, and it was our first time like linking up on this level. We weren't officially friends, but
Hmm.
neither were we foes. But we found that we were in similar industries in the art space. Being a Black female, let's meet up, let's talk, let's have a cup of coffee. And there was so much synergy there. And I remember saying, like, it'd be so dope if we could have a communication conference. Like there's just this divide between the different generations
Mm.
of having forms of communication between each other. The younger generation on the phone text. You got the middle that's kind of in between, but they're still on the phone. And then you got the wisest, who some are still using landline, and others are just snail mail, and they ain't got time for that. They're just keeping their circle within their circle. And if there was a way to connect each other through communication and just have dialogue, whether it's a cup of coffee, and use your words, um, with a little bit of maybe text, because I know I'm a little jumbled right now, but the younger generation, I find sometimes they don't even know how to use their words out loud.
Very true.
It's literally just you about to have carpal tunnel in these two fingers. So um, they could come together and have that moment, you know. So speaking about it, we were like, yeah, let's make this happen. But I was in the process also of moving and just dealing with my own life ventures. And it was more of a like, let's put it out into the world and like put the idea out, not
Right.
officially, we ain't planning nothing. And life happened, and I was away from all communication. Like I cut everything off: social media, phone, computer, text, and found myself back into my circle with just my immediate family, and my son, and just
Mhm.
nature, and finding ways to really get grounded on a whole nother level that I knew, if I knew anything about, I don't remember. Like maybe my other self. But this Dominique of this time, I ain't know nothing about that. So yeah, and once I got back online, it was through a self-care challenge of an accountability group of women, business women, mostly like-minded women. Um, and our goal was to get up every morning at 5 a.m. to talk business, do a little yoga, do a little meditation here and there, do a little exercise here and there, and hold each other accountable. By the middle to end of it, I found myself, you know, you're journaling as well and all this stuff. I'm like, man, I kind of got like the shakes. Like, I think I need to write a comment to say, hey, I'm alive, because people wasn't hearing from me. And I did. And then I did a couple of photo sessions local to my hometown for free, like just because, you know, like they reached out and asked me, and I had to actually put my camera down for a while. Like I wasn't feeling myself, you know,
Mhm.
for whatever reason. But once I did that, an artistic session for a up and coming musician who was also family, you know, it was just so cool vibing with him and getting those shots. And I'm like, you know, bro, I need to interview you. You know, let's do this. So he was my first official interview last year.
Mhm.
Um, and then I just kept going pretty much every week. Got on to different like Clubhouse. I had heard about it. I'm like, I don't need that.
Mhm.
It's just another app. And one day randomly, I think somebody posted like, oh, if you want to invite, link me, put my name down, and then they just boom, you're at it. I'm like, oh, okay, let me just listen to this thing. Um, Rambling on, but you know, like I found some communities that were related to my my aspirations, my enjoyments, and forms of communication with the community of, you know, diaspora, the Caribbean, the West Indies, history, music, love music, music, food, culture, you know, people just vibing, speaking patois, shooting the shit, you know, having a good time. And, but then also bonding and talking about what craziness we went through last year. And these were like people that you have to pay money for to go to concerts in this, you know, you're on in the same space to actually speak with them. I'm like, wow, the power of this is dope. And then the crazier part about it is last year, I mean, you know more of my situation. Like I had I think we had conversations together talking about creating an app that was similar to
We
this.
did. We did before
You
all
know,
of this went down. Yeah.
yeah, we had, and you know, I look back, it freaked me out, honestly. Once I got back online and saw that, I'm like, what? What did I miss? Like, how is this? So, you know, scrolling through the influencers who have big numbers and stuff, the beta version of that app had been out from like 2019. So I guess we was late.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, it definitely is a form of self-care. And I had also had it in my mind. I would have considered myself either an omnivore or an extrovert. Um, I enjoy going out and speaking and mingling with people.
Mm-hmm.
And with what was going on in the news, all right, I'm not about to get no poke anytime soon. And I don't really need to go outside like that. I got my young one. I got,
Right.
people in my household who are considered high risk, whatever. Let me figure something out to do to kind of utilize my time and still build a network with people and get to know people. And that's what it was. It was a form of like, okay, this ain't the club, but it's a cup of coffee and we having a lunch date. I used to network a lot in person,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been great. It's definitely been great. And on top of it, it's not just in person. I mean, it's not just virtual. I've lost count of how many people I met in person this year, that have turned into more things that we're doing. So definitely be present
Yeah.
and make life happen for you.
I think part of being present that we tend to neglect is also making ourselves available.
Hmm.
We look at being present as kind of sitting in the eye of the storm and just like, well, I'm here. But even being here, you're still kind of closed off. You're
Yeah,
still not actively participating. It's
exactly.
like, I'm here.
It's
Somebody noticed
bond,
me.
bonding. Yeah. Because these different discussion rooms that I have, or even if it's a live like this is a bond. This is something that you're going to remember. It's not like, hey, buy my stuff and go follow me like for like. No, we're talking some deep stuff, and we're also figuring out solutions of the longevity of our life.
Very true.
Whether it's bringing joy to you or sorrow or expressing whatever emotion, there is a memory involved with that. Hmm.
And can we talk about giving ourselves permission to truly experience all of the emotions? Because I know, but we're so we're so caught up in this idea that it has to be. Oh, we're living in extremes, right? If I could only be happy or I'm miserable, I can only be. But life is so gray. Life is so colorful and multifaceted, and it's like, no, you're supposed to feel all of these things. You're allowed to feel all of these things. And trying to ignore them, negate them, push them under the rug is one of the reasons why we have this spastic ADHD sort of lifestyle happening because we don't
Hmm.
really give ourselves the moments to feel. We don't want to have permission to really dig into what's happening right then and there. It's like, just get rid of it so we can move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
So,
it's tough, because I want joyful moments.
mhm.
A friend of mine had told me, like, girl, you run into the light. I can see you going to the light. Well, shit, I'm going to the light. But we got darkness all the time. Like,
Right,
there's a lot of dark. And sometimes you need that spark of something to keep you going.
right.
And so I express my joy through my work. And there's been times that, learning more about myself and what I need, right? Commission work, client work, if it starts to drain me in a sense that I don't feel passionate about your project, we need to figure something out. Whether that's I need to find someone else to refer to you, or we need to have communication to keep that drive, that fire going. And even for my own body of work, if I'm feeling like I'm beating a dead horse, all right, it's time to try something different. Go
Right.
jig, you know. Um, so there's that, and then I know you probably haven't seen my more recent work that's at the gallery right now, but it's actually touching on people um, turning portrait sessions that brought me a lot of joy or a lot of emotion of that moment, captured in a form of a 2D visual mixed media piece. And there's a few of them. So the new series is called Adore Amore, and it's about cherishable moments that we may take for granted. And the opening day when I was talking about it to some intrigued guest patrons, girl, I almost had tears in my eyes. Like, well, actually, I did have tears in my eyes, not almost. And it wasn't like sorrowful tears. I guess they were tears of joy, or like I was really, really emotional that time, especially with New York changing with this whole
Mhm.
mandate. And just getting to see people or experience hugging, embracing each other,
Right.
being in the same room to have a laugh, to share, to pass the plate over,
Yes.
and not feel like, you know, don't we can't lose that as society. So like when you do get into spaces where people are feeling okay and like the walls are down and we're just being ourselves again, there's something so fulfilling about that. And so that's what the series is dealing with, capturing those moments.
Okay. So that
Um, but,
what you had. I was
huh?
gonna say that had to have happened with like within the last month because I think
Yeah,
that's okay. I was
yes,
like,
it's
we've been there.
completely different. I actually don't have, they're online. You can check them out on the Instagram page. A little hints of them here and there. However, the originals and only prints that are currently there is at the gallery, and they're in large form, like 3 by 4 feet.
Oh wow. Okay. I have
Yeah,
to go. You would make it so I have to be there like at least once a month to keep up with
I'm
everything.
trying. And Jerome, the curator, he'd be like, "Girl, give me new work every time." I'm like, "Dang, you remember you asked me how do I keep it all together?" Well, I don't know if I can make new work every month.
Right.
So like with all the hats that I juggle, so as time progresses, yes, I will give me a faster system. The funds proceeds are going to the Caribago Designs Fund to get new technology.
There is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that at all.
Hmm.
Go ahead, because I was getting ready to say something, but
No.
all right.
You, mhm.
um, the
And
way
my bad for not being on the couch. I was really planning
this
this,
it
but
is, hey, we're all in theory on the couch.
okay, we floating. I'm sitting on something.
Absolutely. Okay, so since we're talking about the couch for me, I like to keep things deceptively simple, but there's like a whole backstory for everything. That's like
I figured. Yeah.
so. Okay, what started this whole thing as far as couch conversations? Thinking about being with family, thinking about being in community, thinking of like the old school gatherings. When the grown folks was talking, they was in the living room.
Hmm.
They was sit aunties and uncles and cousins. You sat on the couch. You got around together. You gathered. That's where the community was. That's where grown folks spoke. The kids get in the kitchen or they went
Yes.
somewhere else. But
Hmm.
when it got to really time to discuss, like a lot of people talk about it like the barbershop, but when you didn't have a barbershop, when you just
Yeah.
had home and you had family, you were on the couch. When your friends come over, somebody needs somewhere to stay, they crashing on the couch. One of the first pieces of furniture you buy when you get your first place, you got a couch. So there's that comfort, there's that this is where I'm grounded at because I've got this. This is my little stability point. This is where we come together. This is where the labels fall off. This is where the inaccessibility falls off because on the couch everybody's the same.
Yeah.
So that's why to me it was an obvious I'm gonna be chilling on the couch. Me and my people, me and my friends, me and my community. If we're gonna go somewhere and we're gonna have a conversation that's to the heart, that's to just us being us, speaking our language,
Hmm.
we're in the couch. We're not in a time or a space where we're around the fires like we used to be or those sorts of things, but we all got a couch, you
We're
know?
definitely.
So that's the whole point. But yeah, if you sitting in an armchair, you sitting on a stool, you whatever you got,
A word.
We're all
Yeah,
on the couch.
we
So,
are.
so welcome.
It's a great relaxing, way to like,
Yes,
oh, come on, let's talk with it. Come on, Cletus. I'm with.
absolutely. Absolutely. I tell people if you want to have your glass, if you want to roll something up. I'm
Oh,
not,
word.
oh, this is, oh, I don't know if I can say that. No, you can say whatever you want. This is authenticity. The walls are down. This is safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
to me, these conversations are the same as if you sit next to me physically in my living room and we're chilling. Whatever that fantasy is in your head, if we luxuriating, that's what we're doing. If we're having in-depth intellectual conversation, that's what we're doing. But because most of us can't gather due to time constraints or distance,
Yeah.
the couch has become this metaphorical gathering space.
Yeah. And compared to being set up for Zoom, like, come on, chill out. Yes.
Because it's not that serious. I'm
Yes.
more concerned about what you're saying and
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing than what your facade is. The facade means nothing to me. Like I
We're in,
don't.
we're in the metaverse. Oh Lord, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's gonna have me turning into a hobbit real quick. Because certain things, you know me, I'll go in the house and shut the door real fast, real fast. I'm not participating.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the goal, to have everybody turn into a freaking hobbit.
That is very true, and
You know,
that's something. Go ahead.
well, no, I got word about, I mean, yeah, we already know about the Matrix, but like a colleague of mine told me about it like back in 2018. And
Mm-hmm.
he said he was working as an intern as a project back in ATL, that they was trying to do something back in the 90s or the like early 2000s. And so he didn't want to be a part of it. And I had never, like, I honestly, I have not watched all of the Matrix yet, because
Mm-hmm.
any movie that's past like an hour and 10 minutes, I'm falling asleep. It don't matter how good it is. It don't matter how good it is. I'm gonna have to break things up for like 20 minutes at a time. But anyway, yeah, so like it just resonated with me so much. And as time has progressed these past few years, I'm like, bruh, this that was like a premonition or something,
Right.
And meeting in the mall, they said they would call it something like the mall. You meet there to go visit a friend, but you guys are really in your house.
Well, I
Turning.
mean, growing up, video chat was the Jetsons. That was like the big, oh my God, if we had phones that we could actually look at each other. And now this is how we're all interacting on a regular
True.
basis. So, I mean, the ideas had always been implanted, they hadn't necessarily been implemented.
Yeah.
I definitely believe that a big part of this pandemonium is to, yeah, I said that. Um,
Plan and whatever you want to call it.
pandemonium.
Plantations.
It's a yes, yes, yes. But a big no, seriously, a big part is to create the divide and keep the division because when you can separate and then control the minds of the individual,
Bro.
you can do whatever you want.
Mm.
That's the divide and conquer tactic that has worked forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna keep going outside. I'm gonna keep, walking around barefoot. I'm gonna keep doing what I do because you won't catch me. No, you won't. Okay. Ha, 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 ha.
I really have a vision of seeing you do that, right?
As you should, because you know I would.
Yeah, the
You
locks
know I
going.
would.
Yeah, no, it's wild, man. It's definitely wild. I know last year I was, doing the running challenge, jogging outside for
Mhm.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, winter time. This year I'm like, bro,
Yeah, it's cold outside.
it's cold. I need my summer back. I really do. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't all the way in my right mind last year, so I was trying all types of things.
But with me, I'm the weird plant lady. So it's important to maintain those relationships as well, especially what you're saying. It's about to be winter and we're going to be in the house. That's another branch of keep them separated and divided, because now they're reliant on XYZ products versus go use that flower that's in your front yard.
Right.
Go boil these vegetables. Go take this root. We disconnected from the availability, and then we wonder why pharmaceuticals are pumped the way that they are. Our bodies aren't made to handle this, and we're having a completely separate conversation from what we're supposed to be talking about. So,
Yeah, that's what happens when we know each other.
yeah, okay. But yeah, that's a whole other conversation. We could talk about that. But
Yeah, girl.
yeah. So if we're going to go back over our being present bullet points, if you
Yeah.
could just like,
Just cut all this part out for the.
oh no, we don't cut out, we don't edit. This is what you get.
I say it for those who didn't know about Dominique. Cut all that out.
Authenticity, autonomy, community. I ain't cutting shit. I ain't changing shit.
I'm
I'm
just playing. I'm
no.
playing. It's just
I
like,
know.
oh, sorry. Not sorry. Sorry, not
Listen,
sorry. This is what it is.
exactly. This
Yeah.
is what you get, and this is the beauty of dealing with real people, with real lives and real thought processes. Like
Yeah,
the
I know. A lot of time I realize I do the nervous laugh, or not nervous, but like if I'm upset about something or whatever, I'll probably more likely laugh at the situation than get all wild, like ready to
thank
cut you.
you.
Hmm?
No, so one of the comments. But
Oh,
yeah, you do. You're a giggler, and it's okay.
yeah. And then people take that as, oh, you sarcastic, or oh, being funny, but it's like, bro, like I don't like getting upset. I really don't.
Okay. Energy.
Or before you say that, like I don't
Hmm.
like getting upset, and when I do,
Hmm.
it's such a waste. Like for me, it wastes my energy. Like, oh
Hmm.
my gosh, like when you get me to that boiling point or something, you know how long it take to reset? It could take a couple days. It could
Girl, your whole accent just came out just thinking about it.
exactly. It's like it's not it. It's such a time sucker.
I look at it like energy is currency. We think of money as currency, but obviously energy is currency. So when you look at things, you're like, is that worth me spending? If it was money, is that worth me spending my money on?
Yeah.
Is getting in my feelings worth spending what I can't get back? People
Mm-hmm.
just think I'm cold sometimes, and sometimes it is what it is. However, you're not worth what I got to spend today,
Mm-hmm.
or the situation isn't worth. So I'm chilling
Chilling like a villain.
for real.
That's right. So I cut you off. What you was gonna ask me?
I got short term memory problems. I don't
Oh,
recall.
your hair ain't even gray yet. Stop.
Oh no, we're not doing that. No, no. But
Maybe
so
it was about the topic on hand. This week,
because people want to actually hear about that. So if we're going to talk about actual being present bullet points, we have spoken about the need to actually communicate and interact with other people as something that keeps us grounded in the present. We've talked about acknowledging the moments and recognizing that, we can, in this form, Sheena, you going left again. In this form, we consider time finite, although it is not. But we have moments of interaction, right? So we need to acknowledge these moments.
hmm
What else did we say as a bullet point of staying present? Because we covered a couple things. It may seem like we went around the whole merry-go-round, but there were definitely things that were touched upon.
I mean, bonding. It's
Yes.
not just about community. Hey, how's it going? Okay, bye. Like,
Right.
you do go a little deep with it. It doesn't mean you need to go and find out who they divorced and who they screwed yesterday. Like, you don't need all of that, but it's, you can have some touch points besides just the business side. And you can tell when you get to know people, and I'm talking from a business side because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
these connections have been related to business, and
Mm-hmm.
then they spill over related to a bit of personal. And it's like, we're all human, we're not robots, you know? So from a business standpoint, you can have forms of bonding. And I also think that it just makes the connection much stronger than, you know, just a version of like, here's my invoice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if this monetary version of life that we're dealing with is obsolete.
That part.
So building your community or building your contacts together, and knowing that it's not just about the service you provided me or the product that I got from you. I actually care about you. You know, I don't want to see you now have become a loved one.
So the importance of making sure that your interactions are not solely transactional and not solely superficial.
Look at that. Look at them words, boy. Look
I
at them,
told you I'm good. I get to.
boy. I'm gonna have to rewatch this a couple times to write it down. Yeah, I help people with their wording at times, but I just struggle with my own. And things come out naturally when I'm speaking about it, but I don't paper. That's a fact.
It's cool. We got it. We
Mhm.
good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, trying to think, because I like to rehash the bullet points as we're going, but
Mhm.
surprisingly, there was a lot covered. And now, because maybe I need to stay away from certain herbs more, my brain is not picking them up. But life happens.
I don't know nothing about that.
Don't lie. Don't lie to me.
Don't.
Okay.
I don't. I tried it once, and it was some reg, and it wasn't for
Uh,
me. I was like choking, and I'm like, I didn't even get a proper, puff. It was like, nah, this ain't it. I feel like I got asthma mixed with acid reflux, mixed with GERD or whatever. Like, nah, I'm good. I am all the way good. So
yeah.
kudos to the ones who know how to breathe, stretch, shake, let it go.
Listen, I had to learn it for the longest time. I was like, no, I'm not eating. But I like food and I like alternative things. So I had to find avenues. So yeah, there's always a way. Nature will always find a way.
Mm.
Listen, it's in the biology. You have an endocannabinoid system. They're supposed to talk to each other.
Oh Lord.
We'll talk about that another time. But so let's talk about some of the projects that you have coming up. Let's talk about your Blossom Box and how, yes, how you are turning your art into ways to help other people stay present in their moments. You like that? Yes.
Mm-hmm. She brought that selling point. Yeah, the Blossom Baby gift set. There are 3 versions of it. It starts off as a tote bag that says "You've got this," and basically it's pushing you forward, pushing whoever you may be wanting to gift it to. Whatever they need in life to blossom and flourish, whether it's their self-care journey, their business, them being in a form of a depressive state, or have a new baby. I mean, it can go many different ways. So what's the starter pack is included as it incorporates a lot of the Vistas and Mirages collection, so you can choose the pieces. A lot of my collectors have asked me, like, how can we support you? How can we get your products, because it's not on my website yet, and this whole funnel and
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff. Like, there's an old school breath within me that I rather talk to you on the phone and get it super custom, or do a DM and figure it out from there what to do for you. So this is like my version of trying to step out of my comfort zone and get to the funnel and get to the bag. But yeah, so it's all through DMs. You can choose, a note card of choice that is a part of the collection. I brought a couple to show y'all. Of course, we got the, wonderful hibiscus there. We got the palm trees, and it looks so much better in person. Drifted. These shots were all in Jamaica. But some of them are from, like, this is actually sunset from Rochester, New York, on the Erie Canal. Got a little history there. You got fixtures from Dubai.
Oh, wow.
The list goes on. Like, hey, stuff your face, man. Like, whatever works for you. So you get to choose the pieces. We can have a consult or, figure out to close that out. Then you get the tropical citrus candle. You also get the tote bag and why am I always just like, maybe I was smoking something. No, I ain't smoking nothing. It's just been a long day. It's been a very, very long day. And I didn't even go into that. But y'all just wonder how I'm sitting down here standing straight.
Oh, I said, I know you crack a dawn woman. I'm doing that.
This was next level. This was next level. But yeah, so the note card, the candle, a pen, a rose gold pen, the tote bag I mentioned, and there is something.
Wasn't there a journal?
The journal comes in the next level. So this starter pack is only $29.99 plus tax and shipping. But the note card you can use first. Oh, how can I forget? Oh my gosh, the affiliates, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a really major thing. So you guys will get exclusive contacts who are affiliated with me over time, that our fellow businesses who are pushing the culture forward, who are pushing us forward. And they all have different things, whether it's insight to keep you going, freebies, things for sale on, lower, giving you a discount, all on this special paper that once you get all the contacts and do what you need to do, instead of throwing it out, you go ahead and plant that and turn it into, add it to your garden or start your garden. I believe it should grow like basil or something to get started. And the People's Pride Project is one of those affiliates.
Yeah.
Continue. If you feel like sharing what you're going to be doing, you're more than welcome. If you want me to announce, I will, but I think you should, or it's to be continued. Catch her on the next live.
We could talk about it on Friday.
All right, sounds good, you guys. So this reciprocation, right? The building of the community. We are cross promoting between each other's platforms, and it aligned perfectly. Where she's going to be on my show on Friday, Frenzy Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern via Instagram Live for now.
I'll be on best behavior.
Yeah, that's the starter bag. The next level is a gift box, and so you get a journal or a stationery pack of all the imageries that you can actually write on it, just like this, nice bright color with white ink, and send it to them snail mail. Or if you want to go old school, you write on the back, and then they can frame it and use it as a piece of art. You're going to get several sheets of these, up to 50 pages to utilize how you want. You get a sorted pack of note cards, a larger size tropical candle, the tote bag, and the white ink pen. And I believe that's everything. Oh, silk pillowcases. Yes, 2 sets. And by the way, everybody all the vendors, most of the work is mine, but all the vendors who are involved are small women-owned businesses that create all their works. And then the next level, actually, I think we should be able to fit the headphones in there as well. So because I think about myself when I'm in this inspirational mode or like focus and journaling or chilling, I want my headphones in, or I'd rather have the music playing out
Yeah.
loud. But with the kid, like sometimes they don't want to hear the music. So headphones, a silk pillow chilling on it on the back while laying down. Go ahead and write your notes and just get on the couch, bring the pillow, chill out. And you can also repurpose the box as well. And then the final level is it's a wooden box
Oh,
that's homemade, handmade, based from a woman in Connecticut. And so you get all the things I just mentioned, plus the journal and a mini desk calendar to get you started for the year, plus an 8x10 print. And you get to choose any of the collectible artwork, you get to choose from me which ones you want. I'm not just slapping any random thing in there. You get to still customize that. So that's the way it's going down for now. Once as time progresses, maybe it'll just be like, yes, click this button and order here. But I do like the fact that I have that conversation with the ones who are placing the order. Because I used to do a lot of gift baskets back in the day and really personalize things. So this is fun.
I like that while you're mindfully choosing each item, you're also setting a tone, you're setting a mood, and it's a cohesive understanding of a true moment to be present. While you're in this little, either you're going through the art or you're writing or you're journaling or whatever, it kind of puts you in this space, in this bubble for you to just be expressive. And I feel like we don't give ourselves a lot of time or a lot of opportunities to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, with this whole everybody's woke, everybody's spiritual, everybody's fucking guru, everybody's like, oh, you have to journal, you have to meditate, you have to do this. Part of that becomes just background noise in the midst of everything else we're being told to do. So
Right.
having like, for me, it's like a tea set. When you take the time to have your tea and you
Yes.
put in all the pieces, that's your moment. So I would liken or compare the box to something of like that tea set moment. It's like, this is my personal ritual
Yeah.
space.
Like,
This is my little moment. So I like that. I like
yeah.
that concept. And I
Thank
like that your visuals are so impactful that it kind of sucks you into that.
Right. Like, this little hibiscus flower, I shot it in Jamaica. It was on the floor, ready to die, but something about it just captured my eye and I just like honed in on the grass and made it so much deeper and it's so fiery and
Hmm.
the nutrition that hibiscus provides for us as a supplement, it's like a lost gem that you don't get if you don't know what to do with it. I remember going to a little tea shop in Florida, and everything down there is like, oh, we're so healthy and great. Girl, they had these dried hibiscus or sorrel, as we call it, deep tea. She crumpled like two pieces of the flour in there and just poured the hot water over it. Like, what are you doing? It didn't even turn no color, of course. It
Hmm.
wasn't even like light pink. I'm like, I'm paying for, and let's not talk about price. And how are they getting away? How are they getting away with this? And this is not, I'm not talking about the franchise. The franchise got the hibiscus, whatever, and they don't do it right either. But
Hmm.
um, it's definitely a lost. Girl, help me out with this word. Like a specialty, a lost love, a lost.
Hmm.
If we need to keep it going.
There's art and tradition that we're losing by trying to do everything so quick, fast, and
Yeah.
multitasking. Like we want instant popcorn lives, right?
Yeah.
Like everything is right now, immediately. Let's go. Whatever has to. There's so many people that don't even realize how quality has dropped off because all they've ever known is the fast food version of life. And to have the opportunity to slow down just for a minute, just to really sit in your own thought process, just for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, we talk about, oh, meditate and do all this. It seems overwhelming a lot of times. It's like, you mean I got to sit still for a whole 30 minutes and I can't talk and I got to have my eyes closed and I got to be in the right spot and I have to have my legs crossed, and it becomes this added anxiety. No, just
Yeah.
give yourself like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
just with yourself.
It's hard. I did a session the other day. Well, not the other day, but like about a month ago with someone who was trying to get me to get more grounded with myself, because I'm not going
Mhm.
here. I'm not a guru. I'm not, I do it sometimes here and there, but I know there's more to learn. I have a ways to go. And with everything of the hustle and bustle and everything that's going on, and that knowing that my environment is not completely by myself, how can I get grounded when there's background noise, and like quiet that noise? That's physical noise is right there.
Mhm.
Feel free to answer that. But it was tough. And they, you know, I had trouble. I had some trouble with it. It didn't work out so very well. But, I got some stretches in eventually.
But I mean, you want to look at silver lining. We tend to give others what we find is missing or what we feel we don't have. So that breeds the creativity. If you're like, yo, I can't figure out how to do this, let me create something for somebody else because I know what that feels like. We're
Yes.
helping them
Mm-hmm.
how to do this, you
Right.
know?
And that was something that I realized, because I come up with a lot of ideas for people, ideation, design thinking, brainstorming. That's a part of the creative clarity consultations for
Mhm.
several people. And so when I realized, I'm like, well, maybe, you do this professionally, and I may not be like the clients that you typically do resonate with. Perhaps this is a whole nother market of people who need this, and you have to have a different form of patience or will of how to train them. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's a whole space that I'm not used to, compared to the yogis who come with their little roly ready to
Mhm.
go. Like that's their nature. You got people who are stressed out every day, back to back, don't know how to take a second for themselves. It's a whole new ball game. So there's a new form of taking time to explore, like just like you're teaching a new baby how to eat food, like you
Mhm.
gotta give them time.
And even I always tell people you don't need permission, but you have to give yourself permission to even recognize, yo, I'm just starting out. It's okay to suck. It's okay for it to not feel like everybody told me it was going to feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's we take ourselves out of the game with these expectations of this perfected view instead of recognizing where we are and taking the steps for our individual growth.
Yeah.
So it's okay to suck. And it's okay to, no, seriously, it's okay to be in that moment and recognize I don't know how to do this, but I'm going to try to learn how to do this. I
Mm-hmm.
can't do it the way they said I should do, but this is the way that works for me to get me to at
Right.
least want to keep doing it.
And that's the other thing. I mean, I would consider you more of a guru, if anything. But forms, as far as I'm concerned, there's different forms of meditation or relaxation. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're sitting here and levitating. If you can get there, cool. Um, but like one of the other communities that I experienced this year, which was a form of self-care that I would have never tested out. I found a random room, and this lady is like, I'm a happiness coach, you know, a happiness. I'm like, huh? Okay. She teaches people how to have joy or something along those lines. And so she had a challenge. Um, Her name Lara Parrish. I gotta big up with Miss Lara. She's cool. But she had a nighttime a room that opened up at like 1 a.m, and they came up with challenge for joy to find what brings you joy and do it for 100 days, whatever it is, whether it's looking at a picture, finding a random picture on your phone and making you smile, cooking something, however elaborate you want to do, you do that. So I chose to pick a favorite song of mine and dance to it every day, like a different song every day. Like dance through the whole thing, cause it's like when's the last time I heard this song?
Mm.
Like for real, cause you know the DJs don't play it, the radio don't play it. If you don't go pick that song up to go hear it, when's the last time you heard it? And then dancing to it too. Like I said, I'm gonna dance my ass off as if I was in the club. The DJ is doing his thing, the bass is hitting, and I'm just happy. And every time I was doing that jug, by the time I was done, I was laughing so hard. And these songs were like 3 to 5 minutes long. You know, I'm busting the sweat like, yo, this is crazy. So not only did I do it, I didn't finish my 100 days yet, y'all, to be continued. But I was creating content with it as well. Basically like TikToks, except I don't have a TikTok page. And it was turning into a tool for me
Mm-hmm.
with my content creation and, my visual edits for people and for my business. And next thing you know, it spills over and I'm just faster with the type of content I create and I'm enjoying it again. And like it just kind of balances within your lifestyle, finding things that work for you.
So now you know the wheels are cooking. And I'm like,
Oh,
yes, we should do a People's Pride challenge, People's Pride Find Your Joy challenge.
hey,
Maybe, I don't know, we could do 10 days, we can do 21 days, but just something for yourself and post it. It could be whatever expresses your creativity, wherever you find your joy, just so you have a moment in your day for yourself to be joyful, however you express that. And I think we should do that and just have people post it because a lot of when people think of, People's Pride Project 3P, it can seem kind of heavy sometimes because I personally don't intend for it to, but you know how I can be. The bluntness and the directness doesn't always,
girl, it's just you just like a walking soulful like.
I it's what listen, I have no people get what they get. I can't, I
And,
just put it out there.
like the crazy part, like joy and happiness and things, I don't know why our society takes that lightly, you know, because you really do need it. And so at times I get within myself and I'm like, oh, I'm not,
Yeah.
uh, strict enough or, like aggressive, those type of traits. They're not the
Mhm.
that's going to come off unless we talk about logos. And you're not I just gotta put that out there. But anyway, so sometimes I'm beating myself up, like, dang, I'm a softie. Am I naive? Am I da 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 da? And then I get collectors or fans or supporters. I won't say fans, supporters who are like, yo, thank you. I'm so glad you posted that. Or keep being you. Like, don't this sunshine that you have within yourself, like we need more of that. Don't give up. And so hearing those moments, I'm like, hey, wow, it's not bad to feel this sunlight every day or find that sunlight when it's dark. It's okay. You know, if you had a rough day and then you just say, you know what, F it, let me go dance real quick. That's energy. You gotta balance the currencies with the make some money, okay?
Right. Everybody always chasing the bag. It's like, what about you? You still have to revel in your humanity. You still have to recognize that it's not all about these constructs that people are putting out there. Like you deserve to enjoy yourself. You deserve to have moments, and fuck a moment. You deserve to be happy. Whatever happy looks like for you. I had one of my guests on here. I love her dearly. Karen Culpepper said, "What did she say?" She said, "Focus on your freedom." She said, "Find what liberation looks like for you and lean into it hard."
Mm, okay.
Right? And that's really what it is. Like whatever that looks like for you, that joy, that moment of this is just me, because we've been taught to hide that. You
Yes.
know, we're taught to be the cog in the wheel and, fit into the boxes and look like everybody else and don't dress too loud and don't talk too loud and don't have too much attitude and don't speak with an accent and don't do this and don't.
Yeah.
Where do you get to show up?
Right.
And you
And
deserve to have
a
that.
part of our society that you don't represent yourself. Entrepreneurship is most people, well, now it's kind of a fad, but high school, college, all of that, unless you were into some extracurricular activities or your school specified in the arena of business, you are not learning nothing about what entrepreneurship is. Good luck if you even know how to spell it.
Pretty much.
It's a tech job, a trade job, work for someone else, work your way up and stop at, someone
Right.
else is always going to be above you. You stop it. So, yeah, that's, be present, you guys. Like, live your life, live your life. Think about the ones around you. I'm not saying what other people thinks matters, right? Um, However, it's okay to be a part of a community, and it feels good when you have someone else to lean on,
And we all do
right?
affect each other.
When you have each other's back, like
Mhm.
just it's a weight lifted off of you instead of being in this moment of I have no one, or you be surprised whether these supporters, these loved ones, like you probably heard this before, it doesn't necessarily have to be your family members or have to be your best friend. It could be a complete stranger. Like the lady I posted today on my page, like I said, I met her through a virtual experience for professional development, and the love she poured onto me through supporting my efforts and my dreams and my journey. She didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
She did not. And I never, like, not saying I never experienced that, but it was like, huh? Like she clearly could feel what I'm explaining, through my passion or the tone in my voice. I'm not acting. When tears are coming out, that ain't fake.
Yeah.
I don't like to cry, especially show somebody it. So, yep.
I feel like the people that are closest to you a lot of times can't see you because they're too close to the vision. It's like when you got to step back,
Yeah.
see the picture.
Yeah.
So it tends to be, as for me, the ones that are slightly outside of the reach or that may not know all of your past dramas and traumas and how you tried 1,700 times to get this right. And this one time happened.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are like, yo, you're amazing. Keep doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
the people that know you are like, yeah. So how can I get this for free? Like they hit you with the dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely important to expand your connections enough that you get a mix of both. You get the people that know your heart, but you also get the people that can see you clearly.
Yes. I see you. I see you.
Hmm.
Definitely. Well,
I know. I was getting ready to say it. Go ahead.
you already know I got
I,
another appointment coming up. My day is not done. But
well,
if I sit on this couch any longer, I'm gonna go to sleep because I am tired.
it's understandable.
No
And
makeup, y'all. No makeup. Can you tell?
black don't crack. Don't worry about it. Um, but thank you ever so much for joining me on the couch. Like I always say, I usually keep people hostage because sometimes it feels like I'm holding folks hostage. Don't tell nobody.
No, no. Like if yeah, like I probably should have asked ahead of time, like way in advance, like typically how long it is. But I had
You
already
did.
scheduled. No, I think I asked you a couple of days ago, and I had already booked something.
No worries. You know what? The extra 15 happened because it was supposed to happen. And we're just gonna rock with it. So I'm not even mad. I usually hold people hostage for 60 minutes, but if they give me extra, I love them even more.
I mean, you 16 minutes is so cool, and I mean,
Okay.
if you
So
keep your 16 minutes, that's fine, but just not 60.
right.
Can't do
I
it.
think I had one conversation that ended up being almost 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's your goal for these conversations, especially a 3 hour session? What you about to do with that?
Well, I haven't really decided as far as how to break them down,
Okay.
but like I said, it's more about providing information for the community and
Definitely.
keeping things as accessible as possible. I definitely want to branch into broader topics with different types of people and just really keep it rolling because it's important for us to have safe spaces to talk to us
Word.
and just be for real about it. Not doing it for the cameras, not doing it for likes, not doing it, to try to uphold some idea of what blackness or brownness or, being a like
Yeah.
just be yourself, chill with me, and let's talk to things that are going to number one speak to your heart and things that are going to help the community in the long run.
Amen. Listen,
That's what we doing here.
it's a real like, you know, what you stand for and being a testament of experiencing it in real life of what you're doing is like amazing, and um we definitely need more. We need more alliance. We need more team, like everybody just coming together and making this thing happen. Put the bullshit aside and really just it's just so much more strength in numbers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And people, like, there's this one man I watch on Instagram. I believe his thing is called Orion Daystar. I don't know if you heard of him, but he basically said a long time that the money, the government and all of that is done. Like, just focus on being around your supporters, your loved ones, make your community, live your life, keep your heart clean, and support each other. Like, what, no matter what color you are, if somebody is actually showing you kindness and they're
Hmm.
true, respect that. And he been preaching that since, well, out loud, but I recognize it since last year. Um, and I swear it's been true. Like, if this man is some spirit that came down in human form to talk to us and give us a little vibe, like, he just know too much. So I don't know, but um, and he's mad real. I think you would love the page, but anyway, you would love it. Anyway,
I would check it out.
yes,
And I mean, this is it. This has been another lovely couch conversation of the Tuesday night with the People's Pride Project. Thank
yeah,
you, love, for stopping by. And I think this challenge is going to be a thing. I'm gonna drop it by the end of the week, maybe
okay.
even tomorrow.
I'm gonna
So
hold you to it.
yes, we're going to have a find your joy, find your happy, fuck what they say challenge. We're going to do this.
Hey, I can write it like that too. Put that in there.
Why not? This is what we
Yes,
do.
that's
But
it goes with your brand.
yes, yes, it does. But thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for listening and just
Yeah.
vibing with us. And we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Sheena, Madam Facilitator. Thank you.
Ain't no thing. Bye.
All right, so okay.